Oh yeah, what to do, y'all? Thrice Majestus here. I wanted to get on and just drop like a little, I guess, rant, but not really. It's more like clarity. Clarity has come through regarding Pluto in the 12th house. And I have a video, one of my anime astrology character videos. You can find it. I'll link it in the description below. But basically, I'm here talking about Pluto and 12th house because I could never really figure this placement out for like the longest. There's a lot of people that post video. It's more videos on it are coming out now, but before there weren't that many. And honestly, it was really interesting because nowadays you see people and they are kind of getting into being able to describe it a lot better, but I still couldn't get it for like mad long, until recently. And by recently, I mean like this morning. This is why I'm hopping on here now to give this assertion. So I think that Pluto in the 12th house really just means, okay, let's break it down. So Pluto is, to me, a power planet. It is considered by some to be a malefic. I think it's kind of like a pseudo malefic because it's not one of the, the greater ones or the even lesser ones, but it definitely still has its issues. But the issue isn't really an issue at all. It's more so Pluto, like its home sign Scorpio. Shout out to the Pluto and Scorpio generation. Shout out to Scorpio placements anywhere. It's very penetrative. This is Lord Beerus energy. This is Hakaishin, god of destruction energy. And so wherever it shows up, it will destroy, but it destroys to then create. This is creation and destruction, destructive creation. So with it being in the 12th house, it's strange because it's like the 12th house is the most ethereal and it is difficult to access. Like all the other houses, the houses 1 through 11 are all mainly in the physical world. Some exceptions here and there, but they're all like at least based in the physical world. 12th house, nah, that shit is the spirit world, the collective unconscious. And so it's strange because there are many people that say that Pluto is a power planet and it is the placement where, or the planet where we have lost our power before, only for us to regain it. But it's strange because it's like, how do you regain power lost in the 12th house? You know what I'm saying? That's why it was always like weird to me. After viewing a number of videos and doing hella research for literal years, I've come to the conclusion that it is as follows. A, Pluto is, as I said, a personal planet of personal power. Wherever it is means it's going to do the following: change the game up, so overhauling and destroying the ways of old and replacing it with the ways of new. It's going to grant you an not overwhelming, but like a super large abundance of ability, power. Before all that happens, it's going to be an area in which you want to have dramatic levels of control over. Makes sense because this is an area where power was taken away from us. So of course, like, we want to have control over that area. But with Pluto, I'm very sure that it pretty much leads me to B, which is in order to actually gain control, you have to give up control. You have to surrender that control. Wherever Pluto is, it wants you to not, it's like a strange, weird sense of irony. It wants you to not be obsessed with it so much that, and it's strange because Pluto is a planet of obsession, so it's like Scorpio sign. But it wants you to be interested yet not obsessed. It wants you to relinquish the massive feelings of control that you want over it in order to really gain control. It's like a weird oxymoron. So this leads me back to the 12th house, spirits, dreams, the ethereal realm. But I want to wager that the 12th house also represents, like, well, I said spirits and stuff, but I want to say it's our true selves, our inner selves, our inner worlds that are also connected to everybody else in the world and their inner worlds. Pluto and the 12th house people are able to greatly influence the world. Despite this is not a political channel at all, but I'd say one of the major Pluto and 12th house people is Donald Trump. Look at how like this guy was the guy on the damn Apprentice. You know what I'm saying? He's more of a celebrity than a politician, and he has all these people that just are ready, willing, and able to just drop everything just to go to literal war for him. You know what I'm saying? And I personally think that that's a lot, but that's what I mean. And I think that he has achieved this because he's given into himself, his real self. Now, his real self might not be like, the bee's knees, but the theme still remains. And that's also tying into my video about Ichigo Kurosaki being the anime character, which I compared to having Pluto in the 12th house, because the journey of the story of Bleach was the same thing. He had to literally stop fighting himself, his inner dark side, and accept it. And then once he did, he was just filled with all this power. And so I think that that's the same thing. I think that, there's a lot of videos out there that talk about integrity, having discipline when it comes to this placement, because it's mad powerful. It's transgenerational. It has a powerful level of influence. I mean, the 12th house is pretty much like, when you lift up the car and you look at the engine, lift up the hood on the car. I can speak. Lift up the hood on the car and you see the engine. That's basically the same thing, but talking about like the entire collective, the unconscious. And with that said, the only way you gain access to that is to really dive deep. That's any 12th house placement. You got to get in touch with yourself within. Having Pluto here, regaining your personal power, means to go in, look at yourself, look at all whatever you got to do, look at all the shadowy aspects of yourself that you just even have come to hate, and turn it into love. Because Pluto is also a planet of transformation and transmutation. Shout out to Hunter x Hunter fans and transmuters, Henkake and all that. The properties of rubber and gum. If you know, you know. I think that is also a good place to start, because it's like taking that feeling, those feelings, like people with Pluto in the 12th. I'll put links to the various videos that I've watched that touched upon this stuff. But people with Pluto in the 12th, we got some dark kinks and stuff like that. If you couldn't tell, I have this placement. Got some dark kinks and some dark things about us that is not necessarily something to, I guess, be the first topic of discussion in public conversation. But that doesn't mean, being in touch with yourself doesn't mean like you have to tell the world or anything like that. It means not lying to you. You know what I'm saying? Like lying, like everybody lies. I don't care what anybody said. Everybody lies. The thing is, lying to yourself is the real literal kicker, because it's like you can't really do that. Like you can, but it's like you don't gain a benefit. You might gain a benefit from lying to other people. Matter of fact, I would say most people do. That's why they do it. But there's nothing really to gain with lying to yourself, you know? And Pluto, wherever it is, will always show you the real deal when it comes to who you are and where your personal power lies. And so I'm of the strong opinion that people with Pluto in the 12th house have to A, do some insane deep diving, B, challenge their thoughts on their shadowy sides in order to illuminate that and bring it to light. I'm not one of these love and light only people. Like there's darkness in the world, baby. But I think that it is important to understand that light is a component of the world, of the universe, and it's good to really dive deep and really get in touch with that. So, to wrap up this over 10-minute rant, Pluto in the 12th house, to me, as I said in other videos, is strong magician vibes. Here's how, though. The magician in the major arcana, the picture, has the table with all the instruments representing the 4 elements. And in the magician's hand, they're holding up the wand, which is another one of the elements. Basically, long story short, is saying that the magician has the ability to influence all of existence and creation. But the only way that they're going to do that is by getting out of their own way. To do that, you got to dive in, look at all those things about yourself that you may not have been a fan of, accept them. And by accept them, I'm just straight up saying, I mean like hug mentally or even physically, hug the shit out of those things. You're not gonna move forward. If you like some super wild stuff that's not, like acceptable, even illegal, obviously don't do it, because then you might be facing some other problems, but don't be upset that this is the things that you're into. That's what I'm trying to say. Nobody actually came out and said it, so I was gonna say it. Once you do that, and you change your views on yourself and all the things that you like, even if it's like wild shit, remember, don't hurt anybody. But thoughts are just thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Once you accept it and stop running away from it, all those elements, all those tools that's on the table for the magician will become available to you, and thus you'll be able to literally influence all of creation. Hence, you have become the magician. That's my little rant on Pluto in the 12th house. Thanks for watching.